Yeah, we can? Yeah, okay, great. So, I'm happy to be here for my first time in the Philippines. It's a very, very good place. I was landing last week, walking, watching the streets, go to the resort park, the water park. Also, I want to say hello for the hybrid world outside in YouTube. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying in contact with aMS Manila, aMS community. Yeah, my name is Christian Schreiber. I'm from Germany. I will explain it later with my slides. But what we do today, we will power up our life with Azure DevOps. A little introduction of you. Are you using Power Platform? Are you using DevOps?
Power Platform.
Power Platform. What's about you? Power Automate is a part of Power Platform. We are a small group. You are also Power Platform, all the kinds, Power Apps, BI, Automate, experts? Citizen developer. Citizen developer. How many months do you have working with Power Apps and Power Automate?
Actually, I'm on the sales side, so I'm more on the high level. I've been doing it for almost 4 or 5 years.
5 years.
The start of the Power Platform.
That's great. 5 years. That's great. So then you will see that we have a little trouble working with Power Platform. Yeah. So, but first thing first, yeah, I will say thank you for our sponsors. Yeah, certainly Rancor, Microsoft, giving the place, organizing all these events. And what happened here? Okay, yeah. And our silver partner, Rancor, there is outside there. Yeah, thank you for sponsoring these events. Okay, a little to me. I come from Germany. I'm lead architect for Microsoft 365 in Germany. I'm from the WBS IT Service GmbH. It's a company with 250 persons. And we have a lot of different customers. We have media broadcast companies, very broad distribution of software, what we are doing there. We have commercial customers, we have government customers, yeah. So around in all the countries in Germany. Actually, I'm Microsoft certified trainer, yeah. Yes, being a trainer, yeah, I have a lot of stuff that I become from Microsoft, and I'm passionate to share wisdom, to share knowledge, yeah, to stay in contact with people like you, and yeah, also in the internet. And that's the way I'm speaking around the world. I'm traveling internationally in France, in Denmark, Philippines, yes. And okay, so I'm being professional here since 20 years now. And yeah, let me have fun now. Okay, starting with Power Platform means that we have to start thinking different. Thinking different because when you read the commercials from Microsoft, yeah, citizen developers, every person can make apps, every person can make Power Automate. It's a very easy life. But what happens if you start to building apps or automation professionally? Yeah, if you're going to a company, yeah, or you're working for a company, maybe it's a company in different districts. Like here in Philippines. Philippines have more companies in Philippines, in Singapore, in Kuala Lumpur. Yeah? There are a lot of regions, yeah, and they are interchanging the connections and the software. So you have to deploy this software. How to handle that, we will show. Another point, how to handle a secure deployment. Secure deployment means, do you have control over who is developing your apps, your Power Automate, and who is approving the deployment process of your app? For a citizen developer, it's very easy. Yeah, you're managing all by yourself. Yeah, you're sitting there, you're in your account, you're making your our automations, and then you deploy it to your tenant, and it works. So, but it's all on your person. What happens if you are not working more there? Yeah, what happens if the developer, the citizen developer, make any mistakes? Yeah. So you see, we need a kind of controls. And this kind of controls means the separation of duties. Yeah, separation of duties comes in when you try to have a company with a very high certification, the ISO 27007. Yeah, 27007 means that the principle of developing is that the developer teams are separated with the operation teams. Developer operations, oh, okay, we hear DevOps in the background, yeah, and you have a separation of development, separation of testing, and separation of production, yeah. So that when we have a development team, yeah, developers should not have direct access to the production systems. Okay, here's the point. You are producing an app for a financial system, yeah, or for a healthcare system, yeah. There are very high sensitive data there, yeah. And if you have all this data, you are responsible for any kind of troubles there. But if you are developing, yeah, in your tenancy, and you have any kind of problem there, you never have a gap, yeah, of software that are going to our hackers or going outside from the productive system. So you are more safe, yeah. And also, you need software when it's finished to produce, yeah, to be tested, yeah. Testing with product data can be dangerous. Yeah, you can lose money. You can make injuries for health or for people. Yeah, so we have to handle that. Another point is how we control the access. Yeah, who person has access to the code and who has only access to the release pipelines or for the change management. Who is in charge to decide? Yes, we have a change, I approve a change, and I will commit a change. Yeah, and we need code reviews and approval systems. When you are developing alone, you're the approval, you're the boss, you are the master of disaster. But when you are working with a team, when you're collaborating, because Microsoft 365 is a big collaboration platform, if you're collaborating, you need a kind of little sponsor or a little boss that decide, okay, that's what you're doing. We interchange that with the another points in the software and we integrate that to bring it in the release pipeline. So we have the code reviewer and then they gain the access, maybe using Teams. You know, in Teams, you can approve development steps. We use that later. You will see that. So that is a part of separation of duties. Take in mind. So the key points will be dev, test, and production. Yeah, that's a key point. Okay. Having control of the separation of duties, yeah, and implementing the ISO 27007, we can reach a lot of these points using Azure DevOps. We can make more availability of IT systems and process using Azure DevOps. Yeah, we can handle confidential informations using Azure DevOps. We can minimize risks, potential damages, consequential costs with DevOps. Yeah, ensuring compliances, yeah, governance compliances. Because when you are working with Power Platform, you know that activating only the Power Platform is not like playing Lego or playing with balls. When you activate the Power Platform, you have a lot of data loss prevention policies what you have to retrieve. You have your environment management. You have an ecosystem of all your apps. So that is part of the governance. You can have managing all these government systems with Azure DevOps. Yeah, and last but not least, the control of IT risk. Yeah, if you are developing, you are 5 years developing. Yeah, when you make a mistake, I also make a lot of mistakes in my software, and you need to roll back. What do you do? Yeah, if you have deployed, yeah, and then the customer, I'm pressing my button but doesn't work and I have to make my changes now. So, and then you have to remind, oh, what was the change? What was the code? Yeah, but isn't better when you know, I have a production state, it was working, yeah, and the version 1.5 that is not working, I want to change back to version 1.4. Yeah, that was the production system. That's more easier for us. And with Power Platform, only with a normal system, it doesn't work like so. So this is the way why we start thinking about using Azure DevOps with Power Platform. Okay, another point, that was a little legal introduction. Another point is using agility in the software development. Who of you knows what a Scrum is? Scrum? You know? Yes, you? Okay. Okay, another question. Who know what Agile is? Okay, Agile and Scrum, it's maybe the same. Yeah. Okay. So let us show how we work with Power Platform and Agile and Scrum. When we have a product map, automation, yeah, we have a little backup. We have user stories. These user stories, we are bringing this in a one container. We are separating each piece of what they need, and we will have a commitment and make sprints. Yeah, a sprint is maybe a lane for 1 week or 2 weeks, what we want to develop, and each lane is sprint. Yeah, when I developing, we say that one sprint is 1 week. Yeah, and we have every week sprint meetings with the customers. Yeah, and then we have a vision from the past, vision for the future, and we are talking a lot with the customers. So we are integrating all our customers to the production systems to work more agile in these ways. Then the daily scrums. We have a team working with our daily scrum, yeah, talking about what goes wrong, what is better, what can you do tomorrow, yeah, what kind of product backlog items do we have to implement for the next week, yeah, that is all in this daily scrum. And being agile, integrating this mindset of culture, yes, sorry?
You want to put a presentation mode and make it big?
Oh, it's more big?
The presentation mode?
You're not in presentation mode.
Yes, I know. I'm not in presentation mode because I want to share later. Where is my mouse? I want to share later what I'm saying at home, but I'm missing my mouse now. Where is my mouse? Okay, I'll search my mouse later. Yes, I don't use the presentation mode. Yeah, because changing tabs, yeah, when I want to show demos, yeah, it's you have every to stop PowerPoint, and thank you, Min. Yes, okay. Combining Agile with DevOps, yeah, brings us to another question. Yeah, DevOps features. So, what do we need? First of all, I bring this for you. Yeah, it's a decision board. What you have to use if you want to make more professional your software development. Who knows what DevOps are? DevOps? No. Okay, I will explain. Who of you are using GitHub? Ah, perfect, perfect. Okay. Do you know GitHub Actions? Perfect. You are right here watching the sessions. Okay. When we make a simple app, yeah, in M365, these apps are saved in your account. Yeah, I call that a repository, like GitHub. Okay, when you want to deploy this app to your environment, yeah, you need a deployment line. We call this deployment line pipeline. Yes, so every time when you release to another point, you use a pipeline. Yeah, like oil, like gas, yeah, you know the big pipelines. Good. So, and when you want, now yes comes the problems. You are working in your developer tenant and you want to deploy your product to the production tenant. What will you do? What do you think? The only way what you have is to export the solution, yeah, from Power Platform, save the zip file from the solution, take it, put the zip file in the new tenant, import the zip file, and hope that it's working fine. So that is all a manually process. Yeah, and how many times take that? Yeah, a lot. So you're losing minimum of half an hour, minimum, maybe it's 1 hour, because you have to check, you have to make the SIPs, you have to change environment variables, you have to import that, you have to connect the SharePoint list, yeah, a huge of things. 1 hour per each change, yeah. So using an automation system, deploying your production via a pipeline, you can reduce these efforts, and you have no more this hour implementing the zip files. So that's the way why we have to use a DevOps system. Now, I don't say now Azure, because there are another systems. Another systems, we have GitHub, we have GitLab. Yeah, there are another products. So, when you are asking Microsoft about can we deploy our solutions across tenants, yeah, in MicrosoftLearn.com, yeah, you will see no, there is no way. Microsoft has in the Power Platform, when you are searching in admin panel, you can use pipelines, yeah, you can use a little bit only for your tenant, yeah. So that is basically to learn how to use it. You have 3 environments. You have dev, test, and prod, but in your company. But if you're working for different companies, you can't use the integrated Power Platform pipelines. You need another system. And this is the way, yeah, in the decision board, yeah, that we come to Azure DevOps. So now I'll show you the magic. That's the point. That is why we have to use it. First of all, yeah, we Power Platform developers, yeah, and our Azure boards, we was talking about Agile, yeah, we grab all the product backlog items, we put it together, we have planned what we have to do. We are a team of 10 people, yeah, we are fine. And then we have a commitment, we have a development. And when we are ready, yeah, we write git add for all the files. We write a git commit because we want to send the reports for GitHub, and then we press git push. When we make the git push, you know that, yeah, the system, the Azure DevOps, are grabbing all the apps, all the JSON files, all the XMLs, are making automatically the zip files, bringing that to a repository, our Git repository, and it's building an artifact. This artifact, yeah, what is it? Artifacts are the zip files, yeah. And via a YAML code, yeah, I give DevOps the commands to make 2 zip files. You know, the managed environments and the unmanaged, yeah. Managed, why we use managed? Managed we use in production systems when we don't want that customers change anything in the code. Yeah. When you use unmanaged, yeah, okay, we can make a little changes there. Good. Here's the point. We're starting with our repository, our zip files, and we bring unmanaged solutions to our development environment. We bring unmanaged solution to our user and accepting and testing environment. And the last one, the third environment, is our production environment, yeah, with a managed zip file. All this way, it's only git push. That was. So, and with big git push, you have a deployment in your tenant, or think bigger, you can make one deployment to across over the world, over all the tenants. So if you're working for a software development company, making only one app, you can deploy to all the others. So you have a version control, you have software control, you have the release. Great. Okay, so and then we have our fulfillment application lifecycle management, yeah, when we are integrating Agile, when we are integrating Azure DevOps, when we are integrating all the government system given by ISO 27007. Yeah, it will be effort, all these integrations, all these platforms, yeah, to work. So that is an introduction, what we want achieve. How now I will show you how we got there. What do you have to do to implement it? Yeah, when we, I will show you the configuration. When we build Azure DevOps, you will need maybe, if you start for the first time, 1 day, 2 days, making the configuration, looking, testing, yeah. But when you are making that for 1 week, 2 weeks, yeah, you will see, okay, it's very simple, and then you have the guides. For you, if you have questions, yeah, you can ask me every time. You have my LinkedIn, yeah, and then you can download the slides, yeah, and then we can write, and then I can help you later. Okay, let us pass through the configuration, how we can set up all this thing. First of all, you need a Power Platform developer tenant, yeah, or from your company. You have that already. So then we have to use the Power Platform build tools. It's free. Yeah, we have to activate that. Yeah, to go to Azure DevOps, and then it's only a tool library for deployment. You only have to press get it free, install. That's all. Another thing that is not mandatory, but if you are working with Azure DevOps, yeah, you can ask at Microsoft for a parallelism request. What means that? If we are making the pipelines, yeah, we want to make one deployment for one tenant, make a deployment for another tenant. So that means parallelism deployment. Yeah. So the first tools are free. Yeah. So all this DevOps system is in your license integrated. You don't have to pay money for nothing. Yeah. But if you want more, if your company are working very big, yeah, okay, we know Microsoft, then we have to buy the respective licenses to use the system. But only for inside the company, we don't have an extra license to pay. Yeah, that is very good. So make the parallelism request, then you get another virtual machine for your deployment, then you have two. It's a little bit more faster. Okay. And last one, Git. I don't have to explain that. Install the Git, install it locally in your system, yeah, and then we can handle with Git all our repositories. Good. Okay. Now it comes to the configuration. When I'm working with Power Platform, I love use Teams, yeah, because I integrate every system in Microsoft Teams. I can chat, I can interchange with my colleagues. Yeah, I bring all the boards in Teams. Yeah, so we start. I building 3 groups in Azure. Yeah, security groups, and these security groups are team integrated groups. Yeah, I need the security groups. Why? When you are creating a solution, yeah, in the solution pane, they will ask which security group do you want to use. Security groups, what we are, a Teams group is a security group. Yeah, in these security groups are all the peoples that are working for you. So you have maybe the developer group, you have the testing group, you have the production group. Yeah, so you can handle who kind of person is in which environment. So that is the first pass. The second point is, here's where comes the money. Yeah, using solutions for Azure DevOps, we need production environments. Yeah, so production environments means why? Because we need Dataverse using this environment. Because all the solutions are interchanging with Dataverse, the database for the user protocols, for the communication with Azure DevOps, and a production environment with a Dataverse, yeah, it can be a little expensive. So when you start to test these systems, yeah, my proposal is set up and pay-as-you-go system in Azure, yeah, and when you are using it for your first time, you are licensed. So with a pay-as-you-go, with your license, you don't have to pay nothing. Person they don't are licensed and they want to start to use it, then it comes a charge. So that for you is every time free because you're licensed. For another one, it's not free and then they have to pay. Or the boss of your company says, okay, we give them a license and then they can use the environment. Yeah, but there is a need, and we need 3 environments, yeah, dev, test, and prod. That's the requirement. Okay. For each environment, yeah, we have to handle security. Yeah, we have to handle data loss prevention policies, yeah, for each environment. When I use in my environments, I start for the development, I give more options for the developer. Yeah? So I say I open it for Azure Legacy, for Dataverse, for Teams, for Twitter, for X. Yeah, they can use a huge packages. Then for the testing environment, I reduce, yeah, the options, yeah, because they only have to test what I want. Maybe I have 2 or 3 options more. And the most restrictive environment will be the production environment. Yeah, there you have to block all the apps, all the connectors. You have to make a separation against business connectors and non-business connectors, and use only the connectors for the environment what you need for your production. Good. Then the next thing is we need an automation account, a functional account. So what we have to do is we go to the Azure panel and we create a new API registration. A new API registration that gives us an API code. Yeah? And this API registration, yeah, we have to go to commit a graph policy that they can interchange with Power Platform, with Graph, and with Azure DevOps. Yeah? So that is the only what we have to use is a user impersonation. Yeah? And why is here Dynamics CRM? Because Dynamics CRM, you know, it's all the Power Platform system. Power Platform is based on Dynamics. So you have to grab your application ID, your object ID, yeah, and that we need later, because when we are using Power Platform, yeah, we go to our each environment, and for each environment, we will register the new user, yeah, and then the new user is the API registration what we have done before, yeah. So these users are allowed now to interchange with Power Platform, and the same steps will be due in the Azure DevOps portal. We will allow the same user to interact with Azure DevOps, and with this user, yeah, we can make the development. Okay, Azure DevOps. So that is the overview of our desktops here. We have our Azure boards, we have the repository, we have the pipelines, we have the artifacts, yeah. And when we start with an Azure DevOps, yeah, first of all, we have to initialize a Git repository. Yeah, you have a few options. You can say, oh, I want my Git repository being in the cloud, yeah, or you can install your own DevOps system on premise. So what is the difference? Because using on premise, then you have the resources, the server, to handle all the pipelines, and then you don't need the parallelism request. That's your own machines. Yeah. If you're using the cloud, you're using cloud resources, and then you have to pay for more resources what you use. And then you can decide where are your code. Yeah. But for me, it's working years very fine using the cloud systems. It's fast. Yeah. All it's containerized. So every time when you make a build, every time when you write git push, yeah, they will start a Docker container, yeah, for every time when you will make the packages, yeah, and then make the deployment. That is all automated. Okay, we have initialized the environment, and here comes we are integrating now our service accounts for each environment. And then we have the server URL, we have the tenant IDs, application IDs, and here's come the magic. Yeah, tenant ID. You can put each tenant what you want. You can put the tenant from Microsoft, the tenant from Amazon, the tenant from Google's, or from the healthcare system. Yeah, and you have all the tenants in your own deployment platform. Yeah, and this app can deploy for all the tenants what you have here. Yeah, that is the biggest thing, and that is the only way. There are no another system making deployment for multi-tenants. Yeah, that's the way why we have to use Azure. Okay, great. Then a little security. We have to give the contribution rights for our service connection, and then we start building. It's very easy because we have installed again the Power Platform deployment tools. Yeah, and with these deployment tools, I can go further and use my steps for the Power Platform tool installer. I can make my versions. I can make my managed solutions, my unmanaged solutions. And the point set version is one of my favorite points. Why? When you build an app, yeah, in the middle of the app, when you're using the app, you have no option how to see the version of your app. And if you have 3 environments, one production, one development, and one testing, how do you know what version are you using now? Good. What I have done, I have integrated an environment variable at the start from the app. And this environment variable, I'm connecting it with Azure DevOps. Then at this point, I have a PowerShell script, yeah, and with the PowerShell script, I read the first version and say, aha, there is a deployment, there is a change, set the new version. And he's setting the version for each account, for development, for testing, and for production, yeah, and is actualizing my environment variables because I put all back with the release pipeline to the new environments. So that is sending the exact version in the environments variable. And this environments variable is showing it in the main page of my app. And that's the only way where you can realize putting version control in your apps. Yeah? I don't know another system where we can implement it. It's very nice. Okay. I will show that for you. I'm asking, so I will see how can release my mouse, but meaning we are talking about mice. My mouse is dead now. Why is my mouse dead? Let me. Here. I see my mouse. Okay, perfect. So let me show you what I'm talking about. The releases. Yes, I go here down. Yes, here. That is an app in the background, yeah. And here I put for production, for development, a little string, yeah, a text, and that is calling me the variable what I have set, yeah. And there is making the actualization for each screen. So, okay. Go forward. We were staying here. No, here. Yes, we were here. Perfect. Okay. And at the last of my systems, I have put a git push command shell so that all the changes what I have done, I make it a little bigger. Well, is you can see that. So now you can read it better. Yeah. So I have put one push repository as a command shell, and in this command shell, yeah, I make only the same things what you do when you are using Git. Yeah, we are making Git add, we are making Git commit, yeah, and all the scripts are working later easily when you are making the deployment. Okay, that was showing you. So all what I show you, yeah, that is too big, but all what I have making here in a configuration, you can make it by YAML code. Who knows YAML? No? Okay. When you are using GitHub, yeah, when you go home, look for GitHub Actions. Yeah, and in GitHub Actions, you can give each action a command like install a tool, install a package, yeah, make everything. And with YAML, you have a very little language doing actions. And all these actions, what you have see here, is using actually, it's like a script language. Yeah. So, but every automation system are working with YAML. So when you want to being professional and see how you can automate development process, you have to read about YAML and see how YAML is working. But yes, if you have the, if you download my slides, yeah, then you can make it easier to make copy paste, and I have made the work for you. Making this slide, so all this system, what I'm showing here, Azure DevOps integrated with GitHub, integrated with automation, with Power Platform. I was watching tons of YouTube videos, reading tons of sites of Microsoft Learn, and there is never a system they explain how to combine all together that you can work so. Yeah, so it takes me preparing this one. It took me 2-3 months preparing a complete deployment system. Yeah. Each system is working fine together, but bringing all the systems together was a huge of work. Okay, so at the end of the time, yeah, we need some variables, yeah, because we need the SharePoint name, yeah, we need the maybe we need passwords, we need version numbers. Yeah, there are a lot of strings of system what we need to integrate that with our deployment. You can set up a variable library, yeah. And here I'm not using Azure Keyword, but it's better to use Keyword. Who knows what is Azure Keyword? Keyword, you know it? The storage for passwords from Azure? Yes? Okay. You can use this Azure Keyword, yeah, integrated it in DevOps, yeah. Certainly, you have to pay a little of money using it. It's not too much. It's a few cents in months, yeah. But it's a very good storage for production. Also, you can use Azure Key Vault integrating with GitHub, yeah. So you have it more easily that your passwords, your API keys, your tenant keys are not sharing outside. Yeah, because a lot of time you're using GitHub in public version, yeah, but you don't want the tokens in your public repository, then you can use Keyword for these systems. Yeah, okay, we integrated, and here is the magic. I will show that here in my pipeline because I will show the releases. That is better. Here you see I'm in Azure DevOps now, and I have we have some releases, release 11, 12, 13, and we see we have some stages that are green, that is good, yeah. But when you make now a release 15, yeah, and it's not working well, yeah, it comes to red. Or, yeah, you make a release, or it's working fine, yeah, but the button is bringing the wrong pages. Yeah, then you can click on release 13, make a rollback, yeah, and then you can say, that is the system what I want to use. The big magic of DevOps, when you make git push or you click on create a release, yeah, all this is working automatically, and you can tell a manager to say, you have to approve this new release. So I will show that here. I have release 14, and here we can say pre-deployment approval, yeah, and then I can write the name of the person who have to approve each release or each deployment. Yeah, so you're the developer, okay, but the guy who make the approvals is in charge if you are doing the wrong things. Yeah, so he gets fired and you can work better. Yeah. You can make an approval for each stage. Yeah, you see, I have a release to a testing stage and a release to production stage. And we can make a huge of more stages. We can make production stage for company A, production stage company B, C, and D with only one app. And that is why you're starting save time. Yeah, that is the biggest magic. How does it show in the reality? I will go to the pipelines that you see what's happened in the background. Okay, I will explain that here. When you make git commit, yeah, you are committing a change for your app, you're committing a change for your automation. Well, so, and all your commits, yeah, you can see that now in Azure DevOps. Here, that's in German, I have changed the colors, yeah, or I have changed the image, yeah. And for each commit, yeah, the approval can see what you have done. Each commit had a version number. Each commit, yeah, have a ticket, maybe, yeah, and you can see every change. Okay, we go in, yeah, and this commit, and what he has done. That are all the steps what we have write with YAML code. We have initialize the job. Initializing means that is taking a Docker container, activating the Docker container, yeah. And now each Docker container, you know, working Docker, yeah, each Docker container is with nothing, yeah. It's a closed system and very stupid. So you have to tell Docker what you have to do. And here, Power Platform installer tool are installing in each container first time all the tools what we need to make our deployment. Then here comes my script, yeah, set the version for our solutions, yeah. And here you see the comments. Now it's going to make the export for the managed or for the unmanaged, yeah. And then it's making, when he has made the change, all the unpackaging, yeah. Why unpackaging? You see here, he's packaging and here's unpackaging. Yeah, packaging means Azure DevOps go to Microsoft Power Platform, take the package, the zip files, bringing to DevOps, and in DevOps start to unpackaging the zip file to bring that in where? In our repository. So I will show the repository later. Good. And when it's done, when they have the zip file, here's starting the version control. Yeah, he's looking for a file here, solution version. Yeah, and he is changing now this value. Yeah, and this environment variable is what I put in each app to show. Okay. Then I write a little solution checker. Yeah, he checks if you have the accessibility checker done. Yeah, if you have deployed an app with all your government restrictions, yeah, that can check here the DevOps. And the last way, he's pushing back to our repository and publishing the apps. So in each step of the production and each step of the release pipeline, yeah, you can see if any step are going wrong or working well, yeah, and you have a exactly documentation. Now, my friend here, he's working for the health system, yeah, and in a health system, yeah, there are a lot of restrictions, there are a lot of commitments that you have to do, and every change, yeah, have been approved by a huge person, yeah. So, and when you're making a change for only one software, yeah, it's not only that you have an approval, you have to tell why you have to make the change, you have to see the change, you have to, when the revisional board comes after 5 years, yeah, you need a documentation about every change. That is what you are reaching using DevOps with Power Platform. You have the greatest documentation ever. And the big bonus, let's talk about backupping Power Apps. Yeah, you have environment backups. Yeah, but do you have a really backup system from each version, from each change, from each documentation? You're using Power Platform? No, we don't have that. You have to use third-party tools, but I'm sorry, I'm testing this one and it's not working well. Using DevOps, using the system, you have GitHub integrated, and in GitHub you have every change made. Yeah, and yeah, it's a better backup system now for Power Platform. Yeah, and it's all for free. Yeah, you only have to activate it, you only have to install that, and it's working fine. Great. So that we comes now to the end. When we have made all the solutions, yeah, it will releasing all to our pipelines. Yeah, we have the testing environments, we have the user, the boards that are working. Yeah. For today, my goal was to show you how you can handle, how you can manage all this system. Yeah, wake up your interest to using professional development system. Yeah. And now I think we have time for little questions. Yeah. So not that we are over time, well, of 45 minutes from 9:30 to now. So there is a little question of you. Who wants to know more? Do you have questions? A lot. Do you have questions?
Where can we get the recording? Actually, your session.
The recording. Yeah. So you have you can watch YouTube. Yeah. In YouTube, you can watch it more quietly. You can review all my slides. Yeah. And also in YouTube.
Your YouTube or the aMS?
aMS YouTube. Every time when you use aMS, that is so grateful because every record is there from our community, from our sponsors. Every time when you want to watch anything, use the aMS community. And what is good, because there is another session. If you lose this session, yeah, no problem. You're watching this live, and this can you watch at home. Yeah, aMS, please. aMS community, and you will find all the YouTube links. And there will be also a download part for my slide. Yeah, and if not, please use my LinkedIn account. Yeah, and ask for the slide. Ask for any questions. Yeah, I will help you. Yeah, I will be fine connecting with people of this part of the country. It's my first time in Manila. This, yeah, I will hopefully have more friends here. Yeah? Great. Yeah, thank you that you are staying here. Thank you for watching at home. Thank you for this great possibility. I wish you very, very productive solutions and healthy business. Yeah, and I hope you see you the next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But that's my. Which camera do you want? My computer one? This one?
C'est bon ou il y a un problème de...
No, it's okay.
It's okay?
No, it's okay. Everything is good for you? Okay. Okay, come on, wake up. Oh, I guess that's nice. The PowerPoint was not working. Hey guys, so thank you everyone to be here. So today we're going to talk about synchronizing documents in between Dataverse and SharePoint. So first of all, we want to thank all our sponsors. We make this event possible. And yeah, what about myself? So right now I'm working as a Power Platform tech lead with Avalon. And I was grew up in the south of France, which is like the red square over there. So to give you a little bit idea, because yeah, coming from far away, so just to let you know about. So it's a place in between sea and mountains with this kind of architecture, pretty famous for surfing, for rugby. And we have this kind of strange sport with a wooden globe. It's called pellet. And the idea is to throw a ball against a wall, and the ball never should touch the floor. But for my work, I moved to Paris. So yeah, maybe you ever seen this picture of Paris. It's not like Emily in Paris. If you've seen this show, it's a full stereotype, but it's quite nice. So that was for my personal information, but professionally, I used to work as a developer on SharePoint. So I started in 2012. And with SharePoint, I make multiple tasks, just as developer, project manager, a technical lead. And in 2019, I moved to Power Platform. Okay, so before to deep dive in what we're going to do, because I got more slide to show you, I just want to let you know what we're going to achieve today. So let's say I have a module driver with a database table, and I got a few items. And the main idea is like if I create a new item, close. If I'm going back there, I will be able to add new document. So let's say test. Okay, the demo. Okay, it was working just a few minutes ago, so it's not an issue. This is the same for example. Okay, so this is another one. So it's document here. So what we can do is like you can put more document in it. You can watch documents and keep going. But I'm still in Dataverse. You didn't see any SharePoint. But in fact, what's going on behind this, everything is under SharePoint site with a library. And here's my document. And for them, I'm even able to upload another file. Let's say, okay, this one. Here. And if I'm going back here and I refresh, you see my file just arrived. So the main idea is like to do a connection in between SharePoint and Dataverse for that. Just before keep going, who's working with Power Platform? Nobody? Yeah, and Dataverse? No, okay. So do you know what Dataverse is, or you want me to dive a bit into Dataverse? Okay, so Dataverse is like the database of the Power Platform. You need a premium license for that, but it used to be from Dynamics at the beginning, but now they just put it for Power Platform. So you can create table, column, and everything. So if I'm deep dive in bit what the table is, so yeah, I got my table, which is aMS demo, for example, this one, and you can have few columns. You can have forms, view. So if you're working with SharePoint, it could be the same as a list, but it's more database view.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
In SharePoint, there's a limit to the number of items in the list.
Yeah.
But in Dataverse,
There's no limits. Okay. So yeah, in SharePoint you have the limits because when you make too big a request, it can turn you too many results. In Dataverse, with model driven don't have these limits. You can go as you want. But if you're starting to do some power apps, we have the delegation limit anyway, which is 2,000 items. You have to work to only have 2,000 items written by your request. But it's more due to power apps than Dataverse itself. Okay, so we're gonna go a few points. So the first one, we are gonna asking ourselves, why are we doing that? The second point is a lot of things are natively on the Dataverse, so we need to understand what's going on in the Dataverse. How to initialize the synchronization, switch the default location, and upload and get documents. So the main question is, why are we doing that? Because the thing is, you're gonna ask your company to pay for the Dataverse. So they say, so I'm paying, why you want me to go back to SharePoint? The main reason is because it's not the same tools at all. SharePoint is really good for a lot of things, but Dataverse is only a database. And so the main reason is like in Dataverse, your limitation for documents is 32 megabytes. So we're gonna go above this limit. The other thing is, as a database, if you create a table with your file, you need to make a lookup between every items. As you see, I didn't see anything like this. It's automatically into SharePoint, so you're not managing any relation in between your items and your document directly. Another good thing is that you keep the SharePoint functionalities. As I said, it's a database, you don't have co-editing, you don't have anything else. Another point is when you put in database, you have like storage capacities. So by putting documents into SharePoint, you're not using these storage capacities. The only bad news is by doing this, you don't keep the permission in between SharePoint and Dataverse. So you have to recreate the permission in SharePoint as this is in Dataverse. Okay, so that was the main key, but how it works in real life. So that was a real case scenario, and that was the scenario which I asked myself, oh, I will do that. It was a marketing company, we're making sales, and for each new item, they need to make brochure, advertising, and everything. So for every product, it's also the same templates, but they need to change things depending on what they're selling. So the main idea is like the manager will create a new request to have, because they have a new product to sell, and he will say, okay, these people will work on the new brochure and everything. So automatically we create a team. So because there's a team, there is a SharePoint behind the team list. I have few files. This one is in my database itself, which are template files. So we'll copy all my template files into my SharePoint. And people will be able to work with this file to at the end, approve it, send it keeps going on the line. But this to work with documents here. But the good news is, as an administrator, with my model driven, I will be able to see what's going on, which document has been uploaded, who's working on. So that was a real life scenario. Okay, so what's going on in Dataverse? Dataverse, I was telling you, like we can create table, but we also have many native table because it comes from Dynamics. So it comes also with all the native table from Dynamics. And yeah, maybe I should have told you that before. This functionalities is one from Dynamics at the beginning. So we just have to take this functionality for us, change it a bit, and apply it to our apps application. So we got three main tables: the SharePoint site, document location, and the SharePoint documents. So the SharePoint site is going to contain all my circulated SharePoint sites. Inside I got another table, which is document location. In this location, I will have all my library, all my folder in my library. So it's all my package are going to contain my documents. And then I'm going to add my SharePoint documents, which is all my synchronized documents. So always few more schema always works. So I've got my site, which is going to SharePoint sites. Library and folder are going to document location. My item will be related to my location. And when I will just add my document into the SharePoint document, will be related to my database item, which is also rotated already in my location. I just note polymorphic here. If you never work with database, I should explain this. So you can see what the lookup column is. So it's a column which maps to another table. So let's say I still have one column, but I want to map it to multiple tables. So that's what a polymorphic is. I have just one lookup column, but behind I can have a relation to a SharePoint site, to documentation, or whatever. It doesn't matter, but many tables, how many as I want. So in a real case scenario, let's say I have a site to manage a contract with a library or my contract. In my content folder, we have maybe many files. And I want to manage everything under model driven with an item content. So my site will be in the SharePoint site, library in document location, one item for document location. Folder, I'm gonna have another item in document location which will be related to my parents, which is a library, so it's just SharePoint site. And then I got my item, which will be related to my document location. And under the item of document location, I'm gonna have my two documents. Okay, so that was the theory. So now to keep going, we need to initialize the synchronization. By default, it's not active. You need to activate it. So I just put the link of Darren Lushner. That's the one who helped me a lot for the first one. So if you don't really know what to do, you can have all the steps here. We'll show you also for that. But the thing is, when you're doing that, you're gonna have a default SharePoint site and a default document location. By default, you can change it. That could be great if in your database environment, because you can have multiple environments, you have one project and only one synchronization. But let's say in my environment, I got like 2, 3, 4 projects which need document synchronization. So I'm gonna have to switch my default location and my library because I don't want to keep all my documents in the same place. So that's what we're gonna see. I'm gonna go a bit forward. But as I say, if you only have one project on one environment, we can just stop here. Yeah, I haven't changed in English, but I just make a screenshot because when you activate it, this one will disappear. It said activate SharePoint integration. So click on it, you see all the stuff with the default URL, and when it's done, this icon will disappear. I won't show you this one here because it takes a lot of time and I won't have the time in 1 hour, but it's pretty simple. Just click on it, follow the forms, and it will be activated. Okay, so to show you the initialization, I'm gonna create a table and add it to the document parameter. And then I got a flow and I will explain to you the flow, what the purpose of this flow after. So let's say, where I am here. I got a solution already, aMS Manila, okay. So I'm going to create a new table. aMS Manila, okay. Save. Okay, so here is my table. I will not create any column here, but just to let you know what it looks like. ID here, not primary column, which is simply a name, and you can add more column if needed. So when this one is done, you need to go into the advanced setting of programs. So it will bring you back to the dynamics thing. Then here, document management. And yeah, so the icon I showed you before, it was here before, but I activated so it disappeared. But anyway, when it's done, you just go there and you're gonna have to tell him like my table will be synchronized with documents. So I can see it here and click next. While I'm doing this, I there is this polymorphic columns in my native table, and I have to tell my polymorphics that now I can connect to aMS Manila table. And that's what's going to happen here. Okay. Okay, and you will see succeed. So now my table can have some document in it. Okay. The other point is, okay, it's connected, but it's unfortunately connected to my default website, which is aMS demo. Let's say it's a new project, so I want to connect in my aMS Manila 2023 website with my document library. So yeah, natively you can change it straight away. So we need to do some flow to change this one automatically. So the first step is, if I'm going here, this demo, I got a flow. Okay, so before I got some variable. Okay, see if you never worked with, maybe you have it in SharePoint too, but you can say, okay, I've got my SharePoint site, which is here. So, oh, it's not the right one, sorry. I need to go to the other solution mania. So this environment allow me, if I want to switch this project to another environment, just do the switch, and I just have to change after a few things without changing all my flow and everything. So I say, okay, I want my space out into the Mania 2023, and I want my library into my documents library. So behind this, I've got a flow. It's a bit slow today. Okay. So I'm gonna flow now do everything for me. So the first thing we have to do, I'm gonna have a look in my SharePoint site table if my site already exists. Also to gather my environment variable. And if it does not exist, what I'm going to do is going to create my SharePoint site in my SharePoint site table. So I'm gonna let Dataverse at a SharePoint site exist. And if when it's done, I'm just gonna save for later the GUID of my item in the table. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my few calls from my SharePoint site to get the library and the site information, and it's gonna make me a folder path. So yeah, what I'm doing here is like I'm just trying to get library name, so library URL / folder URL. So I just don't want to SharePoint www.sharepoint and everything. Then I'm gonna check in my document location if it exists, and if it doesn't exist, I'm going to create a new document location. And yes, that's what I was talking about. Remember I told you polymorphic? So you can see like the regarding column is a polymorphic one, and it tell you, okay, which table do you want to connect to? Accounts, aMS Singapore, aMS Demo, aMS Manila, or articles. And the thing is like it's still the same columns, but it's not getting the same table. So because it's my folder library is not connected to any database item so far, so I don't need to connect it right now. But the main idea for that is like I will get the GUID, and I will change my two variable environments. Actually, I will store all these GUID into variable environments. Why I will do that is because I don't want to make some request every time to get the same GUID, and I just want to create all my data first to make sure it exists. Because otherwise, by default, it will be my default site and my default library. If flow is disabled, oh yeah, activated. and run. And this is where we have to run it just once a time. It's only when I start the project, and as I said, it's just to let you know that there is another site and another location. Okay. And here we go. So I did everything. Create, if I go there, it will be creating the new document look. Did I did something wrong? Yeah, I did something wrong. Yeah, it's not the right. Sorry for that. I didn't took the right environment here. aMS Manila, aMS site. SP library. And here. SP site. Okay, let's run it again. Go a bit faster. So should be better now. Let me check. Yeah, manage doesn't trust. So you didn't find normally any. That's right. Okay, so you didn't find any new documentation. So you create a new one, and I will save everything. So if I'm going back here to just have a look in my location which has been created, I should be able to find it. Here it is, the one I just created. So now is aware like we have document location into my new aMS Manila website. And if I'm going back to the variable environment, normally automatic get, and you haven't done it because I didn't change it. I won't have time to go forward with. I will just show you one which already works. Yes, this one. So what it has to do, if you're going to environment variable. Okay, so I just store my location. This one is my document location of my library here, and this one will be my SP site location. So it's basically the GUID of my item in my table. So now everything is set to say, okay, I have a new site and a new library. But the thing is, I can, yeah, it knows I've got a new library, but if I create a new item, what's gonna happen? So if I create a new item, it's gonna still take my default location. And that's the thing. We can't change the default location, so you have to go inside the table and say, oh, okay, look, it's not the default one, it's a new website I created, and it's not this default library, it's my new library I created. So for that, we're gonna make a flow. Each time an item is created, I'm gonna switch my default location. A little advice for this one is I'm making a shy flow. By making this, I can code it manually or when an item is triggered. Why I'm doing this is, let's say you create the item and it fails. So you still be connected to the default location. So what I want to do is, like I said, try again. So you just put the ID and until you succeed. And okay. So I'm just gonna keep the one because I still have no lot of time, which working. If I'm going to location manager here, I click on edit. Okay, so yeah, as I told you, it's if it's a shy flow, I just make a manual one, which will be triggered later, and then you're gonna get my item. So yeah, I'm just taking another demo to be sure I will make the end of the session. So I will check aMS demo for the items. I will try to get everything. First thing I'm gonna try to do is checking in my SharePoint if my folder exists. Because for each item, the solution will create a folder for my database item. So we want to make sure it exists. If it doesn't, it will create it. And then when it's created, I'm gonna make my new document location. So we say, okay, you have a new folder for your database item, and it's gonna be this one. And that's the one I wanted to show you. And in that case, we have our lookup, polymorphic lookup here regarding my aMS demo, and you just make a link to your database item. So that's gonna say when I create an item, it will be automatically linked to my document location, which will be a link to a folder into my SharePoint website. So every document will be in that folder, will be into, I will be able to see it in my database. Everything I push in database will be in that SharePoint folder. Okay. So on and after that, you just need to create aMS document location. And this one is like trigger when an item is added in my database in aMS demo. I just want the side flow, the one I just showed you before. Like if it fails the first time and I can see that it failed, I can just put the UID and run it once again to make it sure it will succeed. So if one day you lose your connection, because it can happen, like someone did a bad thing and you're not related, you just have to run the flow again, and it will check if it's existing, and if it's not, it will create and remake the connection for you. Okay, so right now I just have a model-driven application. Now, just before to go to this model-driven. So let's say you've done this, but now you need to show it into your model-driven. So what you're gonna do is like, you're gonna edit your form for your table. Okay, let's say I haven't made it yet. And here you just say, I want to see a subgrid, but in the subgrid, I want to see all my related record from my documents. Done. And okay, and you have this message because your item is not created yet. It's not able to get document location. So that's basically the error message you have it here. When I'm gonna save, it's gonna be okay. But the thing is, if one day you have a team existing, you see this message, that means you have to run your flow again to make the connection again in between database and your flow. Not save because I already had it. And so in my aMS demo site, my model-driven app, I'm clicking on play. Yes, that's the one I just showed you before, and it's gonna open like this. So demo 2, you can see here I don't see any document related. That's normal because it's not created yet. Just click on save and close. And if I'm going back to my flow, which is location manager. Here we go. It's running. Gonna take a few seconds, and here it is. Okay, so I got my new item, which is Demo2, just created. It's gonna get the SharePoint site information and the library information just to get sure everything exists. So the folder path will be aMS demo / demo iPhone and everything. And the GID, just a thing, you have to know the name you put into your document location can be anything you want, but it has to make sure it's something unique because because your folder is gonna create it into SharePoint will be library / the name of your document location item. So I'm just checking if it exists. Pretty sure it doesn't. Yeah, it is false. So it's going to create the folder for me. Here we go. And then it's going to create my new document location. Yeah, we can do that, but I think it will be able to see, but it works. Ah, here it is. Yeah. Apparently, it already exists. Something wrong with this one. So that's when it's relation is not working, that's the message you have. I'm just copy that for after, making check. Why is it trying to regarding object? Let's edit this one. Input ID if it doesn't. Get document location. What's going on? So we'll try to launch it one more time. And does it work again? Yeah, so I'm pretty sorry, I don't know what happened. Well, normally it's working. It works like as the last demo I've done just before, so I might have something somewhere. Anyway, those are the way to do. So you're just checking if it exists. If it doesn't, you create a new one. And if I'm just taking the one which has been done on the last demo, this thing will happen. So you will have this one and everything into your SharePoint site with your name you just created. If I'm going back into my advanced settings, and also SharePoint document location. Here you can see I should have my, yeah, and even like the documentation has been created. So here it is. I just don't know why this time it doesn't know how to map it. But yeah, everything is created, and we say not here, but it works perfectly normally. And I won't have time to debug everything. So yeah. So right now, what happened is like, yeah, that's great. We did everything. So every item we create in Dataverse, it will be connected to SharePoint location and we'll be able to open documents. But you maybe want to use it in Canvas app. So you should be able to upload and get documents from any Canvas app. So for the upload, it's something pretty simple. Just create a SharePoint file. Just create a file into SharePoint, and you will see it in database. But to get a document, of course, we can get it with calling SharePoint, but it's taking a long time. You can mistake because you only use URL and name. And natively, if you see, if I open my model driven, I got everything. So what's going to happen when you get a document? It's going to call this wonderful request, and you just need to put everything back and say, I want my entity name, my current ID, and all the request will be made for you, and you'll be sure you're going to have the same behavior than model driven. The only thing to care about is the page one and content. By default, you have like a pagination into your database. If you want to get everything, you just have to remove these two parameters and you get all your documents. But if you want to make pagination, you can still play with it. So if I open my Doc, so before to go into my Canvas application, I will show you the two flows I'm going to use to do so. So the first one will be the open documents. So not much to worry about, it's loading. Okay, so I got like we'll show you after, I got in my Power Apps side a component which will be able to put documents. So we get the row binary. I'm making few transformation to at the end get my base person to binary information. I will also get my items from Dataverse, recreate my folder path from the items, because in the items, if you remember, I told you like the name will be the one used to get my folder. Then I'm doing these things. Run tentative, check if the folder exists. If it exists, I will just move to the next step. Otherwise, I will keep going. Why am I doing this? When you create a Canvas app, maybe you want people to create a item, open the document, and click on save. What's going to happen is like the folder doesn't exist yet. So you need to wait for the location manager to run, to create the folder, to then upload your document into your folder. So if it takes a bit more time than usual, just say, okay, wait 3 seconds and try again. And when it's done, I just upload the document to SharePoint with like the old-fashioned way. But the more tricky one will be now get documents. Okay. Try to. In the meantime, it's loading. I will open the other one. Okay, so here is so you call the document SharePoint documents. Display name is document. That's why you see document. With like the big request, you just copy paste, change a few things, and you'll be able to write a new document. Here to make it simple in my Canvas app, just get all the information and separate thing with .comma and all my file with pipe. So in Canvas, I will just split by pipe and split by .comma to have everything. So that's my two flow, and yeah. If I'm going here, I got, sorry. So on my Canvas app, I will have my two flow here, and this one is quite simple. I will just call my STL doc. So my flow with all the parameters. So my ID of my Dataverse item, my column name, and my table name with my GUI ID here. And all the document will be returned. So you can see here, so the document we push in the model driven a little bit ago. If I'm going to plus, so that's the component we have. To make you an idea, we made this component. We just open the SharePoint form with Canvas, and we just copy paste the upload information. And this one on edit file, I will just have to call my flow, which is here. And so if I'm going here and I will upload, this one is too big. Oh, there we go. So right now it's just calling my flow on the other side. I'm going here. Yeah, already done normally. So yeah, it did upload my document. So if I refresh here, I can see my Excel file just right here. I'll just click on here. If I'm getting again my document, I think I have too much files, that's why I don't see it anymore. Maybe it's it another one. Yep. Delete. Ah, clear. Well, not sure one is working. Fail. Anyway. So that's how it works normally. So yeah, you get your document with all the big fetch XML, and you will have this in return. So if I'm just copy paste this one. Oh, come on. Here, model station, JSON. Yeah, as you can see, I still have all my information. So we have my URL, all my SharePoint information, the SharePoint ID and everything, but I never been into SharePoint. I just ask our database to give me all this information for me. So what I'm doing is just taking the full name, I separate the URL, and I give it to my Canvas app, and I'm able to get all my document information. So to make it quick, so very sorry for the demo. It's the first time it happens, but it works normally. We don't have time to debug to see what's happened. But the connection is working fine. And when it's done, everything goes smoothly. You just have to take care about it. You can keep the SharePoint functionalities. So you manage your document database, but people will be able to co-editing a document to SharePoint and do the SharePoint thing. The main problem here is like the permission are not synchronized. So if you want to get more permission, you need to make some API call from SharePoint to maybe switch the permission of a folder or the document. So you have to bring the inheritance, for example. So for me, it's the main issue. But the good thing is SharePoint is used everywhere in Power Platform. So for example, behind the Teams, you have SharePoint. So you can basically manage to have application which is managed by database, but behind can be documented to Teams or whatever. So thanks for your time. If you have any question, please let me know. Did you enjoy it? Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you have you're going to revert the version history, will it still synchronize once from the SharePoint?
You still have the version history into SharePoint. Actually, like you do nothing in database. Database is just like a link to let him know like there is a document into SharePoint. But you keep all the SharePoint functionalities. So you have all your history, you have the coding, you have everything. Database will not directly know the history, maybe tell you like which version of the document it is. But after, if you want to check the history, just make a API call to SharePoint and you will see the history of the thing. But yeah, everything is in SharePoint. The info like is SharePoint. Database is just a link, which let you know like there's a document here or that's it. But there's no real document into database itself. Okay.
Let me do. Okay. 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 Good morning, everyone. Okay. So the first thing again, thanks to those sponsors. So or else I won't be here with you guys. If you cannot hear me, just shout and say that you cannot hear me. Okay. Okay. So okay, this is a very brief introduction to myself. I'm an MVP of Microsoft. I'm a CTO from somewhere, right? And okay, this is actually a title, right? But the title is right, is I blur out the Copilot because the Copilot is not really there in Power Automate desktop, right? Unfortunately, but you can actually use. I'll trick you to use the Copilot. Actually, in somewhere else, actually have your Power Automate desktop. Okay, this is a series of things that we are going to go through, right? If you think that you are in the wrong room, then you still have a chance to join another room. So this is what I will go through. So with you, okay. So I believe you don't. I don't have to tell you what is. Let me do a summary of what you will learn at the end of this session, right? So I believe I don't have to tell you what's a Power BI, and there's one thing, RPA, robotics, process automation has been there a while. It's very excited for a while, and now slightly, I don't know, cool down a bit, right? And yeah, so it's actually very friendly because I give you an example. Any one of you use a Google Workspace? No, good, very good. So, Microsoft customer, very good, right? So, okay, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, because we have a lot of friends here and telling me that I need 12 hours to fly here, I need 24 hours to, no, 24 hours, yes, to fly here and so on, right? So, my question is that now, if you want the 12-hour, 25-hour, when you are inside the plan, you want to do your Google Workspace, right? What happened? Yes, you need to pay a very expensive Wi-Fi to get your Google Workspace to work, right? You don't have something called Excel. You don't have something called Microsoft Word, right? So that is the thing. So same thing that the idea I bring back here is that yeah, Power Automate is great, right? But something that you have COBOL, I believe. Anybody know what is COBOL? Yes. Okay, I see. I think I do. Okay, my trick is that. So sorry for the camera. My trick is that every time people, it's Christmas time, right? So I have some candy to give away, and also, yeah. Okay, let me tear it open. The shoes. Okay, so you know what is combo? I give you one candy. Oops, oops. Okay, catch it. Okay, right. Yeah, and so on. Let me move on. So okay, this is a temperature check, right? So this was it. So how many of you not it's already using kind of automation, but not using the Power BI automate, other kind of RPA? Anyone? What is the automation anywhere? Okay. Okay, automation anywhere. Hopefully after this session you will switch it to Power. Yeah, I have a hand. I have a hand. So yeah, sorry for the. So I will very missing. Okay. So some of you know Power. Okay, so like UiPath, G2 track, all these things is actually the other RPA, but I'm not, competitor. I mentioned the name, never mind, right? So you can actually, those are the RPA. So this is very good. Okay, so let me just go through. Okay, so what is Power Automate? I don't want to. I skip this because you'll be hungry, right? So you need to go down for lunch. Everybody know what is Power Automate, unless you don't know. You tell me I don't know what is Power Automate. No, right? Okay, anyone that you don't know what is Power Automate? No. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm just focused on the last one, right? The desktop, right? Which is the Power Automate desktop, right? And it's actually kind of an episode. Last year I've done something. Year 1, year 2, this is like year 3. But I don't know how to reverse that. But it's not really connected. Don't have to worry. I do recap some of the information for you, so you don't have to worry that can I go to this section without going to my previous section? It's fine, right? So now this is RPA, right? So you can actually do a lot of things for you, right? The RPA, you don't need to have a lot of coding, right? Is if you want to transfer, for example, some text file to your Excel file, or Excel file to Access, or Excel file to Microsoft SQL, right? Is without any coding, you can actually do that, right? The second one that is quite fast is actually, if you are Python or C# Java guy, is fine, right? You can actually put the exe to run. Even if you are a C# guy, right? You can compile exe, and then this guy can actually run the exe for you. So don't worry. It will run PowerShell for you. It will run exe for you, and so on, right? Okay. All right. So I'll just actually Microsoft has been in this for a long time, right? It's that Microsoft has been I have been in another section that's talking about what is the first without the internet, what is the first no code and low code products in Microsoft? Do you know? SharePoint Designer. Yeah, it's one of them. Another one of them is actually Microsoft Access. Right? Yeah. You don't know what is Microsoft Access? Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, no. So those are really no code, right? You create a table, you create a query. That is the thing. And same thing to RPA. RPA actually is a Selenium, if you know. It's a continuous improvement product. If you are a guy that doing quite some time of Microsoft, right? So it's actually from Visual Studio. The recorder actually is from Visual Studio. The enhancement version of the Visual Studio for your recording and so on, right? So if you don't know about it, if this is fine, okay? So I have some good luck to you is that, no? Microsoft is telling us, and then if you have a Windows 11, I don't know, it depends on your version, then you will have Power Automate Desktop pre-installed. How many of you, when you open your first time Windows 11 and Power Automate Desktop, it works for you? No, right? So you have to you're gonna download and install again, okay? Yeah. So I show you how to download it later on. But so you need to download and install it again, okay? So I just show you that before the demo. I just want to just recap if you don't know, there is this is the kind of thing that you can have, right? The Power Automate, but to install you need that. To click that, when you sign on Power Automate, right? Power Automate, right? There's one button there you can actually go to install a desktop. If you have a problem, if you don't have a Power Automate desktop, but there's I believe it's you there a long time because I've been there, and you say, okay, so this is what the how it look like if you have a lot of floor. I created all the demo floor and so on, right? And this is the previous version. If you're going, you see launch application, you see a lot of YouTube video, right? Forget about this one because this one is the old one, I always say, the new one is like this. It's still like this. It is still like this. This is a new one. So I just want to show you that, very fast to go through. Okay, let me just do a demo for you. Hopefully, it works for me. Where is my, okay. Okay, I have a BM here. Hopefully it works. The screen, okay, let me make a BM. Okay, so this is when I sign in, and this is my Power Automate. Okay, so it takes a while. I don't want to close it and reopen it. So the Power Automate, the beautiful thing of it today, compared to the last time, is that you can actually see the example. Right? When I presented last year, this thing wasn't there, right? So after I realized that this thing is quite useful. If you don't know what is Power Automate Desktop at all, you can actually come here and you scroll down. There are tons of sample for you, and this sample actually works. I tested it out. It actually works, right? So you can actually, if you don't know what is how to do your Excel, there are some example for you. That's how you can get started, right? So especially if you are from other RPA, you have to come here, then here you go, right? So then the web automation, desktop automation, those are they will teach you how to record your. So this I'm not going to go through all this one with you today. I go through something very kind of special with you today, right? Something a bit special, right? So I'll show it to you later. Okay, so this is a sample. I accidentally click in, right? When you want to start your new flow, you just click a new flow and just type your name. Then, okay, let me just start this Zhang, right? Full, right? So if you want to create a full, right? So that is how you look like. Before I go into that's how you look like. So the first time you get it started, right? So yeah, you have actually don't know how many hundreds of the component you can use, right? So again, the diamond one, I think everybody knows what a diamond one means. What is a diamond one here means? Okay.
Premium.
Premium meaning need to pay, right? Okay. You see diamond, you need to pay. That's it. So yeah, so you don't click into the diamond. Now it's better rather than you go in and then you need to pay. The other thing what I do, okay, I actually want to shut down the Azure app services. Wow, I say Power Automate can do it. Immediately I jump in. Then they say premium. So that is the thing, right? So yeah. Okay, so you don't have to be worried about all these, right? How to, okay, if you don't Excel, okay, Excel, you have Excel, right? You can, where's my, I have a mouse, I got a mouse, okay. So you can see launch, yeah, all this Excel is here. If something that you cannot find like web API, for example, you want to say web API, then you say create whatsoever, web page, OneNote, okay, so whatever you cannot find, HANA, I don't know whether there's a HANA here. There is no HANA. So yeah, so something like that. You don't know, not sure, you can actually just search, right? So that is how automate that's all. Okay, this is how you put it in. Okay, so this is how you get started. There are a lot of fun thing here, right? Okay, so okay, let me go a little bit of theoretical, right? Is that no matter how no code or low code, right? Whoever researcher can create the Power Automate desktop, they are still following the concept of programming. So inside the low code, the Power Automate desktop itself, you still have these three things there, right? I'm not going to go to, but you can actually go and find somewhere that there's a sequencer, and there's a selection, which is if then else is there, and there's a loop, right? So I do have a screen capture, but I will not go through. Okay, this is a sequencer. There's no selection, right? So it's just every one action after another, right? Because today I'm actually telling you how to step through some of the things to do debugging and logging, right? Which is a lot of Yeah, I struggled a while because logging, even YouTube is not so many video. That's why I intended to do this session for you guys. Yeah, it's not so many guys, unfortunately. Yeah, so, okay, you have an if then else, right? If the file exists, if the file doesn't exist, right, then don't delete the file, for example. So this is a selection. So you have an if inside here, and you have a loop inside here as well, right? So after you read the CSV file, then you can actually loop through all the items, right? That's how you manipulate. So you have the same programming structure as the normal programming structure, yes, right? So don't tell people that, hey, you don't have a programming background. Never mind, go in, you will learn it very easily. Don't, right? So you need some programming background still, yeah, to actually know how to use this, because it's actually following the programming concept still, right? So this is what I'm actually focused on today in Power Automate Desktop, your try-catch finally, right? So you can do this inside a Power Automate Desktop, all right? So it's actually this one, right? On block error, okay? So your error, then you can actually, I will show you that how do you actually come up with a subroutine, a subflow instead of a main flow. A lot of you is a main flow. I'll show you how to create an error flow, right? On the spot, and you can actually, on the spot, I actually created, right? So to handle the error, okay? So you can actually read from the file. Then when you read from the file, there's an on error option here, right? That's why I want you to know. On error, what to do, right? You have to go to the subflow, right? And so on, right? So, okay. So let me do a demo for you. Okay. Where is that? I do a demo, everything in one go. I put a breakpoint and everything before I go to the log, right? So, hold it. Then I come back to the slide, right? So, okay, now you have this guy here, right? Let me open one of the flow that I've created. Okay, one of the flow that I've created. Okay, the first one is this one, I guess. Okay, so I edit. Yeah, I've prepared a lot of junk thing to play with you guys. Okay, this one is a flow that I created. Okay. Okay, so now, okay, let me do one thing without the error, and I let you see the error, friend. What if without the error, right? Without the exception, this one. I do something for you that without the exception. So you will see what happens if you don't have an exception and you don't have a file. Okay. So I will show you also. You can actually put breakpoint like programming, right? So okay, now I will say I just run this guy. Hopefully you bound into error. I just run, right? See error, right? Okay, now. So you know that it comes to here error, right? So okay, this is the error pane you have, right? So is the description is here. When you have error, then you say, okay, the file to copy not found. You cannot find the file, right? Okay, so there's no error exception. So you can, okay, you can actually disable the action. Whichever action you don't want to run, disable, right? You can actually, if you want to actually enable the action back, right? And you can actually, just like Visual Studio, right? How to put a breakpoint? Visual Studio, no one using Visual Studio anymore. Visual Studio Code. Hey, Visual Studio Code is the same, right? How to put a breakpoint? Click on the, here, right? Yeah, you click on here. Yeah. Okay. So, Okay, so that is how you do it, right? So actually run, you actually come to that and stop there, right? See, I run to this, right? So I can say, I can run next action, run, right? So stop. I run. Where's my? Okay, but it didn't. It's supposed to pop up anything, but it didn't. Anyway, so let me continue to run. And say, but it's supposed to pop up something. But anyway, yeah, just sometimes demo is like that. Okay, if I don't stop this guy, okay, it's just to remove the breakpoint and run again. See, by right. But somehow I run that this time it didn't actually pop up, right? So then I have to ask Uncle Gate, right? Okay, then it's finished. Okay, there's the error there. Okay, now let's go to the one that with exception. We cross this one, right? Save. I've done something that will be exception for you. This one without exception. There. So the problem is that without exception, then you will not, you can't. But with exception, also you cannot do much unless you want to lock the message, right? Yeah, I think this is power, but I think it's still enough power. Right. So, okay. So let me come to the this guy. Right. So I will actually display the error. Just pop up the error. I tell you the trick that to go into the error block, right? Okay, the first thing that is on block error, you type here, on block error. You don't know where, right? It's quite hard to find. So I was always say that you just type here, on block error. See? This guy over here. So you actually drag this guy this out, drag this guy here, then you actually have a begin and end. Then I actually drag this guy in. I know it's going to be error, so I actually drag this guy in, right? So, all right. So if I run, okay, then you need to actually have a subflow. Right? You can actually have this normally if you have an error handler, you don't want it to jump around actually you can actually jump around. So you can see here the error handler, you go to edit the error handler, right? So you don't know how that, it's very simple, right? In Microsoft Trick, Power Automate, SharePoint, everything that under Microsoft 365, the trick is that if you see the three dot, then you click the three dot, right? So you click the three dot, you should see you should see an edit. Okay, so that is the trick, right? The first thing you look for the three dot, right? So now, yeah, so you can actually say continue to have a flow, right? If you don't have a subflow, that's why there are something called subflow. If you are not familiar, you can actually create not too many, right? Not too many subflow. It's just like it's just the same practice, right? When you call the write a C# to call web API, you don't want that method to call another 10 methods, right? The most you want to call 1 or 2 methods. Right? Async or don't async, never mind, right? So, but you don't actually call the 10. Same thing here, right? So it's just a practice. If you see your developer is putting 10 subflow there, something is not right. So you need a subflow, right? You gotta continue and go to the subflow. So, right, and also now you have to capture the errors. Yeah, I capture the errors. Yeah. You see, I actually capture the. Okay, now I switch it on, right? So, okay, so that is how I created a subflow. If you want a subflow, you just say new subflow, and you can actually create a subflow. You give a new subflow name. So the subflow that I have already created is actually this subflow, right? It's just a very simple thing, right? It's just trying to say, I want to get the last error. This is the very useful thing. Very useful thing. Okay, and then there's a trick is that every single of this step, when you drag something into the action, you expect a variable. Okay, you see when if you have this one, let's say if I get current date time, right? You click the three dot. When you come to here, you edit this. You will see the variable produced by the action, right? So most of the action, most of the thing, you drag it into the Power Automate desktop. You drag the action, then you will have the variable. This way you get the information. You're asking that, well, after I run this step, where are the thing, right? Right? You can call it state or you can call it variable or whatsoever, right? So you actually keep some value for you. Okay. So the same thing, when you say, I want to know what is the error message, by the time I'm going to display it, then there's something here called get last error. You see it, right? You see get last error. You see? You can get Windows environment, you can get so many things, right? So this is exactly what I want. Get last error. Right? So you put a get last error here. I have a last error variable. Then I can display what error actually this guy is facing. Right? Then it will not go into a sudden death, right? Okay. How many of you are Windows fan? There are two colors that in Windows that always showing you problem. There's two unlucky color. What color are these? Are those color? You will certain pop out an error, right? There's the screen with some error. What color is that? Can I have a hand? I think that let's say who said blue? Okay, so it's a blue color and also a yellow color. If you are the web developer, then you don't like the yellow color, okay? So yeah. Okay, so I'm glad to hear somebody laughing. Right, so let's run this guy and see what happens. If I run this guy, okay, so now I don't suddenly dead, right? Okay, the sudden dead color is blue. I don't know that you use the Windows hardware then sudden dead, so there's no sudden dead, right? So now you know that the error is this. Okay, now what happened? Let me go back to the slide for a while. Okay, now you get the error. Then what? Right? See okay. Then, okay, so your key point, you can bring back today if you go and start using Power Automate Desktop. This is the thing that you will bring back today, right? You will know at least after when you step out of this room. If you don't know this thing, please stay. Don't go for lunch, right? I will teach you until you know this thing, right? So, right, I see you can write to, okay, now, I show you the error pane, right? I show you the breakpoint, right? There's a delay down there. This one I didn't show you later on. So you can run from here. Okay, you can run from any point as well, especially when you recorded the video, right? You recorded the step. Sometimes the beginning step, your browser already open. You don't want to open your browser again. Then you can actually run at the middle, from the middle. Right? That's how it goes, right? So this one I demo to you now. So there's a scenario, right? Just now you are saying that this guy is saying that the CTO is going to ask, how do you see the error message, right? Developer will always say, right, I can open the Power Automate Desktop, right? The problem is, right, then this is the only time that the CTO is saying that the production environment, right, you don't always go and open. How many of you actually always go into production and actually play with the production? Somebody is laughing. Production environment, right? Most of the programmers do that, but don't. Because the production environment is critical, right? So you can't go into a production environment and open the Power Automate Desktop and go and debug in your production environment. That's what the last thing you want to do, right? So you need to see the error message, right? This is what I have this talk. So then you actually need to write it to a file. Okay, write it to a file, right? So you actually write. I show you how to write it to a file without the daemon year, and actually you can log it by daemon year. So meaning tomorrow you have another file. So you have a log file, then you actually look at the log file, you can actually, yeah, nobody need to actually open power or automate desktop. Look at the log file is wrong, right? So now let me do a demo for you. Okay, I have this one, right? Okay. Okay, so I close this guy. I go and log file, log message. Okay, this guy should be. Okay, now I go to this guy. This is how you, the simplest one. You actually log to log file, right? Yeah, this is the error. I put a stop. Okay, so this I don't break. See, I just play around for you guys. Okay, okay. Now I have, right, the error, and I get the time because you need the time, right? The error. Okay, there are few things that are always in the error message. The log, right? The most important thing is the time and date. If an error line don't have a time and date, that is really useless. Yeah. So that those are the practice. Okay. So I'll get the time, date and time. Right. I can always get the date and time. So yeah. I take the and just open it. Okay. So you will never get renamed. Right? So you will never come to here because I purposely make it error. You cannot find the file because I actually renamed the file name. Right. So if I run this guy, okay, let's see the folder first. See whether inside folder, I'm going to put, where I'm going to put the text file. Just make sure that this is now running. I'm going to put the text file in aMS log. Okay, this file, right? So I think I tested it this morning because you know Singaporean, no Singaporean here. Singaporean, they saying something called kiasu. You know what's kiasu? Okay, you can go and find kiasu is scared to lose. Singapore is always like that. There's lucky no Singaporean there. We actually call the whole entire world in the region of Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia actually call Singapore kiasu, right? Yeah. So I'm a bit kiasu, right? So is it scared? So I actually go and check that I run already. This morning will run. So I run to for you to see. Right? You can see now is this morning I run is 9:15, right? So if this date it doesn't change, then something is wrong, right? Right. So if I run this guy, if I hit the error, I'm going to write the text file, right? Then you can actually open the text file and see what is the error, right? So I'm just going to run. Okay, I'm just going to run. It's pretty fast, right? You shouldn't come up with this guy anymore. But anyway, bug. Okay, bug. Okay, so you actually refresh. Yes, there's a bug. This guy, I think you can actually configure to actually run to the end or just stop it. Right? Later on, I'll try it for you. Then we can do it together. Open this guy. Okay, you open in the see. Now you have a log file, right? It's telling you when it happened, okay, and what is the error message and so on, right? So that is what happened now. The only thing is that if I say that every day I want to append, you see, every day I want to append, I don't want to keep on appending, right? Every day I want to have a new file. What should I do, right? What should I do? So let me just go to another one. Hopefully, okay, sorry. Half an hour. I give you back some time and try. Okay. The last one will be more challenging is the database. I also tested the database and actually okay. Give me some time. Okay, so then you actually now go to the one with daily this guy. Actually you run around and you hop around. Okay, so this guy, right? So this guy is going to by the date, right? The trick is that you actually need to format your date, and the date itself you have to put it as a file name and append it together. Okay, so this is the one that yeah, I think I put it in and it doesn't run anymore. Okay, so if I go to here, now I think I have most of the way. Before that, okay, I set the date format. You see whether it's this guy. Is it this guy? Let me run it first. Okay, so I did the date format. Okay, convert the date. Okay, I convert the date format. Yeah. So I convert it to this format. See, it's like this. Okay, so if I'm going to take the date, convert the date format, and then later on, when I have a file name, okay, set the file name. See, I set the file name. I actually append them, right? Actually append the file name. Yeah. Okay. So file name. Okay, append them. So, all right. So now, I think it's a log, right? So you go to here. I think I actually here. The log append, the date format here. This is the one. The one I think I don't use, okay? Yeah, because it's not in production. Okay, so I have a date time here. So what happens if I run it again? I delete the file, right? It's a real one, so I delete this guy. I delete, okay? Today date, 10/24, I delete. If I run this guy, then you will see you can actually see, there's no more pen, right? So because I moved the thing inside the error handling. So the handling and you won't start. So now if you go back to your folder, you actually see today's date, right? That's how you do your logging. So then nobody need to actually go and open Power if you want to know what's the problem, right? So you have one more level to go before you go and open the Power. So at least somebody know that, okay, this is the error, okay, by looking at the file. Okay, the last thing, right? This is a bit interesting. Okay, now, if you don't want a text file, you want to put the error into a SQL server. Yeah, you think you can do that? You can. It's not that hard. You can do that, right? So, but you need to. That's why you need to have a little bit of database background. You know, to do that. So, because some of the people want to have one location and I can filter by date, right? In the text file is really hard for you to filter by who, filter by the error message and so on, right? You can't hardly sort the thing out inside the content. But in the SQL, you can actually do that. Okay, this is the last part I'm going to do. And just to show off a bit, so, okay, if you go to the browse the YouTube, right? After I prepare my video, right? 2 months, 3 months back, I want to see who else actually has a better idea to write the Power BI desktop to the database. This guy is still showing number one. This guy is the guy that's talking to you right now. So if that title, that guy is still showing number one. So nobody else actually do that topic, this topic. So that's why I want to show you. Not many people is actually, okay, in order to do that, you need to, like me, look at how to handle the error. Then I have to look at how do you connect to database. So I give you everything in one package. Right? I show you how to handle the error and how to write it into the database system, right? Now, okay, so let's have a bit of fun. So let's go to the last one. So this guy, where is my phone? Too many flow to demo for you. On. It's definitely here, but I need to find it. Where is that? Find the error to database. Here. This guy. Okay, I think this is one. Okay, hopefully this is one. Okay. Okay, so you have an error right now. Okay, you have an error. I put everything. Okay, this is a practice because I just want to try. Because when I put that, this one could be wrong, right? It's a connection string. Okay, you need to get the connection string correct, right? You need to get the connection string correct. I'm actually using the, right? So in the database, okay, I go for it. You need to know this. If you want to know a SQL database, you have to know SQL database. Of course, you can write it to access Oracle, all right, by using the whatever Oracle driver and so on. I believe you can. MySQL, right? But here I'm just showing you that I'm actually using the most pretty thing that it's called Microsoft SQL Server, right? On-prem, right? You can actually put it. You should actually okay. The big deal that SQL Azure, the big deal of SQL Azure is that you only need to change the connection string. But today I'm not doing that demo to you. I have some talk that just doing that demo for you using Blazor and connect to right into the Azure SQL, right? The trick is just the connection string. I tell you, everything is actually so seamless, right? But I'm not here to push you Azure SQL. But if you want to use Azure SQL, right, then you can. It's about Azure is how it goes. So it's actually a very cute thing that you can actually try, right? And so Azure SQL is not something that wow, what is Azure SQL? It's a let me out of topic a bit. It's something that some creature that is in the Azure cloud that I was scared, don't know how to do Azure SQL. Actually, it's nothing but change the connection string. Trust me, right? So I have some resources later. You will show it to you. Okay, now you can see if I run this guy, I run again. If I run this guy right now, this morning I just test it, right? Oh, okay. I don't have to put the time. I put the date. Okay, you can see delete there. Okay, so you will see you should have another transaction, should have another error here, right? So let's go back to the Power Automate. Now, I just see whether it runs. Right? So then I go through some of this review. I just run first, right? If you run error, then I don't have to tell you anything here. So, okay, error. Oh, this. Okay, now. Okay, so actually I have write some error message before I write it to. Okay, it's not. Okay, then I actually write it, insert it. Okay, now, done. Right, I'll go through that review, no worry. But here, I just make sure that you actually write a record for me into yeah. But I need to put a timestamp, my bad. Right? So, yeah. So there's a SQL, right? Now, go back to here. It's easy, not hard, but not as easy. Okay, so the whole thing is that I want to actually take the data. So you see this guy is open. It's save error, right? So actually I am taking the Northwind database. I think she should ask you to guess what database is. But you see the name stuff, right? The Northwind, my favorite Northwind database. Or okay, what is another database that Microsoft always use? I can't remember. So, there are two, right? One is Northwind. Another one, very famous, huh? Adventure work. Oh, okay. So Microsoft always use this too, right? Northwind, Adventure work, right? So I'm actually using Northwind. Okay, you see, I can actually take the data, put it into Excel. But I'm not going to teach you what you can actually try. If you don't want to know exactly how to do this, I think you just have to read through the steps. Okay, now. Okay, when you go to here, you see there are many steps that are tricky. Okay, there are many steps that are tricky because the insert statement, it has to take the format like this. Your date format is not going to work, right? So that's why there are some tricky things. I have to convert the date time to this format, right? And also I have to put the insert statement, and I have to remove all the refresh the insert statement, right? Actually, I refresh the insert statement, right? So actually, it's not so straightforward, but you can actually, that's why I record a video for you. It's actually not that straightforward. You can see actually I refresh the character, a single quote to a double quote for some of the data. Yeah. So you have to watch out. It's not so straightforward that you can actually simply write. If you hit the error of if I don't have this, it's going to give you error, right? If I remove this step, I just show you. If I remove this step, disable this one, I don't convert at all, right? I don't convert at all. Oops. Is it still running? on. Let me see. Actually, I can see, but here is a bit dark. So I see there because I gave. Hold on. I should have stopped this guy, but hold on. You see all my button gray off? I don't know. Okay, so let me just enable it back and see what's the problem. Yeah, I can run. But if I disable this guy, oh, okay, actually affected this because it take the variable, right? Actually, it take the variable. Yeah. So if I don't do that, I straight away run execute the statement. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But I can actually show it to you because I already fixed it. Right. So that is the thing. So they know that there's a dependency, right? If you don't have an error the variable, then down here it doesn't. I need this. I need this here. So if I disable this two, it might work. Hold on. I don't know whether it's still working. If I disable this one, I disable this one, right? Yeah, this is exactly your debugging. Yeah, you can still meaning there's still some line down there. You should depend on the variable, right? So that is how it goes, right? So now it's a little bit of debugging and so on. So this is how you actually write it to database. You can actually go, if you forget how to do it, you can actually go back to the video and see how I do it. I recorded the whole thing, right? You really need to write the Power Automate desktop to a log file, and you don't know how to put the error block, right? So I just very simple. I just give you a very simple thing. So okay, I guess yeah, I give you back some time for lunch. I guess. Hold on. Let me go to the section. Okay, so okay. So that's what I was been showing you, right? So the demo I've done with you right to the database. Okay, so here are the thing. Everything I put inside my block, right? Everything I put inside my block, that's the background. So yeah, so how to actually transfer the data, right? You have to read the Word, Microsoft Word. A lot of people having a problem read the Microsoft Word content in the Power Automate desktop. I found out that the video in the YouTube, they are all wrong. That's why I created one and put it inside the YouTube as well for you guys, right? So there are some guy really say thank you, but in my blog the comment I can look. I think I have this one, but anyway, just leave it. So that is the thing, right? Because yeah, so they are. How do you copy SharePoint file, right? SharePoint is still very attractive. Even the SharePoint has been no news sort of, but SharePoint is still a backbone for many things in your Microsoft 365. So it won't die so fast, don't worry. Even .NET Framework hasn't died, right? So a little bit of quiz. So what happened to .NET Framework? Now is what? After .NET Framework? Anyone? We are all Microsoft guy, right? After .NET Framework? Now it's .NET what? Sorry? You have too many chocolates. Yeah, it's .NET Core. Right, it's a .NET Core now. It's .NET 8 preview. .NET 7 is already there. Yeah, and so on. Right. So I when .NET 5 now it's 6, 7, and 8, right? Who can tell you exactly when .NET 5 is actually launched? Which day? .NET 5. No, this is a trick. It's 10 November. Right, 2020. Oops, I think it's 2021, right? 2020, no, 2020, November 10. Why November 10? Actually, because it's my birthday. So they launched it on my birthday. So I actually remember the day. Right, so they launched it on the day, so I remember that. Okay, so any question? Okay. Yeah.
What's the license needed? I believe there's a new licensing options with Power Automate.
Okay.
Power Automate Premium.
Okay.
Is this gonna work with the Power Automate Premium per user license, or are we gonna purchase the Power Automate Premium, which is the is it also called the Power Automate for Flow license?
Okay, you mean the Power Automated Desktop, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Power Automated Desktop. I think some of guys might be able to help me. Power Automated Desktop, you don't need a premium. You don't. Yeah, you don't need a premium as long as you are Office or Microsoft 365 subscriber E3. Yes, I'm using E3. I'm just E3. Yeah, so I only have E3, so I cannot lie to you. I'm using E3, so you're happy now. So yeah, E3 will work. Yeah, E3 will work, and yeah, you'll run. Okay, now something I want to tell you. I don't want to lie to you, right? So if you want to share your Power Automate desktop to among your colleague, yes, I guess you need to pay. Yeah, am I wrong? So I guess you need to pay, right? So if you are using it by yourself, right, you can do creative, however, you don't have to. And there's one more. Any more question? Or else I give you the question. A lot of people ask me how to trigger the Power Automate desktop from the Power Automate. Yes, you need to pay. Yeah, to trigger it from the Power Automate, right? The cloud trigger, you need to pay. Yeah, people are asking all these questions. Yeah, so happy and not so happy. So it's happy if you. That's why it's kind of struggle. So I'm really struggling how to share this to my colleague. So he can run from his machine or a machine somewhere, but you need to pay extra in order to do that. Yeah. But in order to learn to be familiarized, if you just said, okay, I have an operator sitting inside the office, I want him to just click and run every day, then you don't have to. You just put the machine down there, open this guy, the guy coming in, click. Right? Then you don't have to pay. Nope. Then you don't have to pay. If you want to have it automatically trigger or you want to share to somebody running in his machine, yeah, I guess you need to. Correct me if I'm wrong. So all are the experts inside the room. Yeah. So any more questions before I release you?
Is the Power Automate desktop is the one need to be used for the RPA? Or
Yeah, there's RPA. There's a RPA products of Microsoft. It's just like your UI path again, automate anyway, Yeah, that's the APA. That's actually RPA. That's why you are a big hoo-ha, oh, wow, like that. Then suddenly there's no more sound. I don't know why. So then everybody shifts to something called Copilot, right? Copilot. Okay, if you want to have the easy way, the Copilot actually is your edge. I don't want to because I already I think time over a lot. So, but it's your lunch time, I don't bother. And you're still happy to be here. Thank you. So, all right, yeah. It's then you can if you want, and then next year if the Copilot is out, you will see me. Maybe I'm also Copilot, right? So yeah. So you see what I can actually see, which is not so. It's Microsoft 365 and not people don't really put it in YouTube. Then I'll actually do it for you. Okay. So any more question? No. Okay. Thank you very much. All right.